Good morning. Today is Monday, January 27th, 2025. The recent release of some of the hostages from Gaza has Israelis and Jews all over the world overjoyed, but also angry, worried, and frightened over those hostages who will not return alive, the many lives that have been lost, the worry that the present deal will not continue to its conclusion with all the hostages home, and most of all, the anger and fear at the large number of prisoners released, among them terrorists and murderers, who we undoubtedly know will try to terrorize and murder us again. The debate over hostages for prisoners has raged for over a year. And the debate is not only between one and another, and sometimes civil, often not, but it is also an internal debate. As we have discussed, everyone has both warring feelings within us. We must get the hostages back, all of them, and it is a terrible deal. So this issue is not only about threatening to tear apart Israeli and Jewish society. It has created painful conflict and cognitive dissonance inside each of us. We are warring with ourselves. So this background makes what I want to share with you this morning from Daniel Gordis, all the more critical to hear. A possible, I underline possible, trend in Israeli society that we must all know about and try to nurture. Haggai Luber is very well known inside of Israel, not so well known outside of Israel. I confess I had never heard his name until reading about it in this article that I'm going to share. Luber has long been known in Israel as an actor, a playwright, a theater director, founder and artistic director of the Aspaklaria Theater and Acting School. Luber and his family were removed from their home in Gush Katif. That's the portion of the Gaza Strip that Israel left in 2005 as part of the disengagement of that time. And more recently, Haggai Luber's son Yehonatan was killed in battle. Luber has been publicly, vociferously opposed to this deal. He has spoken out against it often, against the protesters arguing for the release of the hostages. He feels that this deal, which releases prisoners and leaves some portion of Hamas still in place, means that his son died in vain, with Hamas not defeated. Just before Shabbos, there was a back and forth on social media in Israel. So this is after the first 3 hostages returned last Sunday, before the 4 hostages returned on Shabbos. And this interchange on social media, it reflects something that is deeply moving and powerful within Israeli society. So, what Haggai posted first is a photo, the photo of Romi Gonen, one of the hostages released last Sunday. So she was one of the first group that was released. And the photo is with her and her mother, Meirav Leshem Gonen, who has her arm around her daughter. And Romi is on the phone with her father. You may remember in last week, they had the mothers only come to visit. This week, they decided the mothers and fathers should be the first to see. I don't, that's psychological issues I don't quite know about. But that's the way that they arranged it. So this is the photo where she has just been reunited with her mother, and she is talking to her father on the phone for the first time, about to see him in a short while. Obviously, it is a photo of great joy and jubilation and relief at that moment. So that's the photo, and the caption of the photo has some of the words that Romi said to her father on the phone. Abba, I came back alive. That's part of what she said. That we know. That photo has been circulating all week. Abba, I came back alive. I can't imagine what a father can feel hearing those words after what he has been through. Abba, I came back alive. Now, so Haggai Luber, who is against this whole thing, posts this photo, and he writes the following words. I'm translating. He writes the following words. Abba, I came back alive. That's what Romi said. And we were overjoyed. And we knew that while our son did not come back alive, but he brought life back. And we are deeply proud of him, and we are comforted. Haggai Luber. Amazing. Alongside his pain at his loss of his son Yonatan, and his conviction, publicly expressed repeatedly, that this deal is not good for Israel, he is able at this moment to see and to express finally his son did not die in vain, as the work that his son did and the sacrifice that his son made led to life coming home, to Romi and the others returning to their families. Our son did not come back alive, but he brought life back, and we are deeply proud of him, and we are comforted. Now, Romi's mother, Meirav, saw this post, and Meirav, Romi's mother, has been publicly protesting for over a year in favor of releasing the hostages, no matter what the cost, regardless of the cost. And Meirav, who has this public position that everybody in Israel knows about as well, so one could not imagine two people at more opposite ends of the spectrum of disagreeing with each other, not always so civilly. Haggai and Meirav. Meirav responds to what Haggai wrote, and she says, "Beloved Haggai, we are all deeply proud of your son Yehonatan, and he did save lives." And then Haggai responded to her on social media. And he said to Meirav, "I watched you," being reunited with her daughter, "I watched you, and I floated on the joy." And then a third person, whose name is Liat. I don't know who Liat is. A third person added a comment to this social media conversation. And Liat wrote, "And the master of the universe is now watching this exchange." So simple, and so very not simple. And the master of the universe, God, is saying, "This is the kind of love for which I was waiting. Now the time of your redemption has arrived." To have Haggai Luber, who was deeply opposed to this deal, and who spoke out often, again and again, when he thought there were egregious excesses of the protesters wanting something that would put the rest of Israel in danger. And Meirav Leshem Gonen, who campaigned vigorously for the deal. For the two of them to have an exchange like this gives hope. So Daniel Gordis writes, and I certainly agree, I doubt that most Israelis are capable of having this kind of exchange. But some are. And it's those people who are the hope for the future of this country, Israel. If they ran this place, redemption indeed would be near. My friends, I wish you a beautiful day, and I look forward to seeing you soon in person.